Hello, 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 hello everyone. I hope we are being heard. Kumusta naman tayo guys? So this is welcome to another podcast here with Level Up, and of course we're having a special topic this afternoon or afternoon this
Tonight.
tonight
Evening! Hello!
evening sabaw.
Baby!
Sorry naman.
Okay lang.
So ayan, so we are actually having a special topic this evening, and I am joined by three lovely ladies tonight. Yan, so nakakatuwa na parang ayaw nyo maniwala na lovely ladies kayo. May ganon. Yan. So, let me just introduce myself. My name is John, and I am part of Level Up, and I'm the Christian Geek. So we are now live on Facebook and also on the Christian Geek YouTube channel. And together with me are our lovely cast of characters. Let me call on our chibi otaku, Maya.
Konbanwa, minasan.
And then of course we have paano ba kita introduce? Naisip ko pa lang. Pero unahin muna natin yung chef natin, ang ating resident chef at
Resident chef.
taga-pakain sa aming lahat, Ninay.
Hello.
And our wonderful, beautiful friend, wow. Wonderful na beautiful pa. From
Wait lang.
that is part of the gaming industry, no? So, let me call on Vel.
Eh.
So,
Yay,
special,
resident DJ.
awesome. Oo nga.
Former.
DJ din pala.
Former.
Na pala.
So, later on, meron po tayong online radio. Joke lang.
We were.
Tapos na-ban sa Facebook kasi
Oh no.
copyright strike.
Copyright strike.
Anyway, so thank you guys for joining us. Thank you lovely ladies for joining us and being available kasi Women's Month nga naman, and so we wanted to give a shout out to all women, especially geeky women. Yes,
Women.
geeky women. And we're gonna be talking about a special topic that is close to, I guess, women's hearts. So, ano nga ba yung pag-uusapan natin? Yun ang tanong ko. Maya, ano ba pag-uusapan natin?
Sige, before we dive into that, I just want to, again, shout out sa mga women for this Women's Month, especially ang aming mga mothers, ang aming mga sisters, ang aming mga LUGN members who are also, well, women. Yan. So tonight, we're actually gonna talk about something very, paano ba, sensitive but also not so sensitive. But we just noticed as women that it has become kind of like a significant problem for ladies, for women, uh, in the modern times. But also it actually has been a problem ever since, like in biblical times. So what we're going to talk about is um, about the ano nga ba ni
Infertility!
infertility. Ayan. Well, infertility, ano nga ba yung how do we define infertility, like in the biblical times, in the modern times? How are those different from each other ba? Or is there any difference at all?
Okay, I passed to Vel. Yeah. Ulit. Sorry. What's the question ulit? Guys, so I ended up Googling it para alam natin yung official meaning ng infertility. So, according to Google, wow. Basically, infertility is a disease of the male, or in this case, since it's Women's Month nga, female reproductive system defined by the failure to achieve pregnancy after 12 months or more. So, worldwide stats wise, a lot of people are actually, going through problems with fertility. And I think, like one of the things that really brought this topic about is that there are people in this group who have their own struggles when it comes to reproductive health. So, like it's very common these days to hear that um people have PCOS or people have a hard time conceiving, diba? I mean, I don't think anyone here is trying to conceive at this point. Pero I think we all desire to have a child in the future. If will ni Lord, diba? So, yeah.
Ayan. So, as I said nga, we're going to look into um, infertility today in modern times, but also in the biblical times. Like, so we've actually kind of listed or have a mental list of biblical characters who have gone through infertility or barrenness. So can we like on the top of our minds, can you give a biblical character that have gone through the same struggle?
Are we gonna start from the Old Testament to the New Testament
We
or
can, we
just
can.
this? Si Sarah,
Yeah, the mother of it all. Whoop.
the mother of mothering.
Sarah. Sarah is Abraham's wife,
Mhm.
and when actually did she conceive? She was
90, diba?
99.
Old.
Oh, 90. Okay. Oh,
Very old.
Very old.
yes. So imagine 90, wala ka pa ring children. You're like, as in, past, ano ka na, past your prime, past
Past your
your,
prime, yeah.
uh, ano ka na nun, anong tawag dun? Menopausal ka na, and basically, parang, as a human being, you'd actually lose hope for any of those things to happen. Kaya nga, we see in the Bible how she just parang brushed off yung ano yung prophecy sa kanya that she will conceive, right? So who else? And yeah, who else can we think about?
Tama ba?
Yes, Hannah. And I remember, was it Eli who like thought that she was drunk because of her weeping and wailing because of her infertility, right? Ayan. So, what about the New Testament? New Testament times.
Well, more on like bleeding problems, yun nga yun, 'di ba? The woman who was bleeding for like 12 years.
12. Wow, 12 years.
Tama ba? 12 years na.
I wonder
Mm,
how
12
old
Yeah,
siya
na.
12.
when she approached Jesus.
Hinanap yung Bible. Where is it?
Ayun, but it was only then that we see how what happened, what is happening sa kanyang body that is showing um, you know, parang failure talaga of of the body, of the system to kasi hemorrhage, 'di ba? Hemorrhage yung nakasabi sa Bible that she was experiencing. And uh, that was that the only biblical character in the New Testament that was showing struggles of the kind?
I think siya yung nag-iisa na that come to mind when it comes to struggles with fertility and with na she was bleeding. And the sad part pa dyan is that I think although a little bit archaic, it was often considered that a woman bleeding was
Was
unclean.
unclean.
Unclean, yeah.
And so there was stigma connected to her sickness. And unfortunately, even until modern times, may mga ganun pa rin na thinking, no? Na if someone is parang having that kind of problem, then she must be unclean. And so, and I think that comes from probably also a lack of understanding of uh, how women are treated, no? Or how women are yung reproductive health din ng women. And so parang nagiging uh, naman ignorance when society or culture doesn't know what's going on, the normal tendency is to outcast or to shun away.
Yeah,
And
actually, like, sorry.
ano na,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to, yeah, like, I just wanted to add on to what JB said. I think for a lot of people who like get diagnosed with these kinds of things, like, there's also a lot of shame, especially in Filipino culture, kasi, di ba parang, when people get married, the next question that you keep getting asked is like, when are you gonna have children? When are you gonna have children? And di ba parang, like, to be completely honest and vulnerable na, like, that might not even be an option for me at this point. Like, there's a lot of shame and guilt that women tend to feel about these things. So, ayun, parang it's nice to know that really it proves that the Bible is timeless kasi even down to, like, I think there's a verse there that said, like, she went to a lot of physicians and she
Mm-hmm.
spent
Yeah.
all her money, and she, like, it only made her feel worse, diba? Na parang I have experienced that myself, and it's really, it puts you in a lot of, like, physical, mental, and even sometimes spiritual state of suffering na, Lord, ano na ba yung gagawin ko with my body, diba?
I was actually going into that because, like, personally, I don't experience any of those symptoms. Although I have been experiencing like pains in maybe dysmenorrhea, I do have that. But like to go through 12 years of bleeding or maybe not bleeding, I wonder. I would like to know from you ladies, kasi you ladies have experienced exactly that. So I would like to ask how yung dynamics ninyo, or how do you experience uh, maybe shame or uh, siguro mental shame or personal shame, like ikaw sa sarili mo, di ba? May ganun ba kayong experiences?
Can I put my input? Put my input. What? So meron kasi I was reading the Women in the Bible na Devo book, and there was a part there na parang sinabi na the woman who was bleeding, she of course that'll have a physical effect then sa body niya. Physical. Yeah, kasi if you bleed excessively, of course, it's either talagang baka papayat ka, you're gonna get skinny, you're gonna lose weight. And we see there na parang, yun nga, may parang hormones nga. Syempre, hindi naman nila alam yun. Back then, like, it's just hormones, they're not gonna, hindi pa yun sobrang studied back then. So, but now, we have, actually now lately din in medicine, lately lang din talaga na ano yung na-determine how to really cure, kunyari, PCOS, endometriosis. Kasi before, ang pinaka-cure nila is to actually just remove it. Like, just remove it. So, no chance for you to bear children at all. So, and now they have like specific procedures and all that. But so yeah. So one of the challenging din siguro is the physical aspect of it, kasi it's either you lose weight or you gain weight. And in PCOS, you gain weight. And we, as Filipinos, di ba ako mahilig, uy, tama-taba ka. Di ba yung mga ganon na comments na mga, so,
Not even knowing what one is going through, di ba?
yeah, you have, like, you don't know what that person is going through. Baka maybe it's, yun nga, hormones, di ba? Hormones, it could be the medicine they're taking, that it's affecting their physical health. So talaga minsan it's you try your best to not get affected by those comments. But then of course, um we have to wala, ewan ko. Ayun, psychological attacks, sabi nga ni John.
Mm.
So those are one of the struggles, I think.
How about you, Val?
I think, I mean, pretty much what Pinay said too. One thing that I really had a hard time dealing with, quote unquote, is when it got to a point where I needed to tell my parents. Kasi syempre parang, for the longest time, I kind of like tried to keep it to myself na parang, okay, ikaw na yung regla. And then parang, of course, like, I didn't want my parents to think, something else na parang, oh my gosh, buntis yung anak namin, ganyan. So parang, hindi ko na sa kanila. But yeah, like, parang, it goes to show nga na parang culturally, di ba? Parang ang hirap pag sinabi mo that you're struggling with your reproductive health. Kasi parang, yung tingin nila agad na parang may ginagawa ka, no? Di ba? Parang ganon. And parang, like, honest to goodness, Lord, wala po talaga akong ginagawa. So, so that was something that I struggled with. And then siguro yung second one is, I fall under the category of people who have like gained a lot of weight, obviously, with this. And sometimes it really like takes a toll on self-image na parang I would stare at myself in the mirror and I'm kind of like, I didn't used to be this fat. And parang, yeah, like I would struggle with like, feeling pretty, ganyan, na parang,
Mm-mm.
for a while, like I was also like forcing myself to fit into my old clothes. And I was like, I refused to like believe that I needed to buy bigger clothes na.
Denial.
So, yeah, like sobrang ang hirap din nun. And what really helped me is being anchored in my identity in Christ na, like God doesn't look at my physical appearance. It doesn't matter if I gain a lot of weight, if I lose a lot of weight, because He loves me regardless. And like truly what matters in this life is that He loved me enough to die for my sins. So like, yun, na parang problems aside with reproductive health and like all the side effects that come with it, it's really, being a Christian and having that hope na, like I have my ultimate healer and there's a purpose for everything that you're going through too. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing your experiences. And I I I agree that uh our struggle with or women struggle with infertility with the hormones and PCOS and everything. It can really mess with your brain, with how you feel, your emotions, and it's really important that we ground ourselves in the the knowledge that Jesus and the Lord God really made us into His image. And if we're having identity or appearance struggles with our appearance, whenever the diagnosis comes or uh, that time of the month comes, we really need to ground ourselves in that. But it begs the question: um, what about those who do not know Jesus Christ yet? How do they um, uh, deal with these kinds of struggles? And ikaw ba, Vel, when you experienced yung mga struggles na ganito, did you already have it when you weren't a Christian before, or Christian ka na that you experienced it? How can we help those who uh, have not known Christ yet but are experiencing these kinds of struggles?
Mm-mm. Actually, Christian na ako.
Okay.
I was born and raised in a Christian family, so that's my life background.
Mm,
But yeah, like parang I think because we're in the day and age of the internet, right? Ang daming mga content na lumalabas about, how to fix PCOS and all of that. But I think it helps too na just to share na being transparent about what you're going through. Because for one, like the fact that you're bold enough to, talk about, hey, I have PCOS. Like, it already gives a sense of comfort to like other women too. And then, like helping each other out. Because for example, like there's a lot of content on like, oh, did you know that like sometimes one of the things that affects your cycle is also like high cortisol, stuff like that. So like sharing information with each other also helps, and it I don't know, it creates this like sense of community. And then siguro last but definitely not the least, parang being also like open about your faith. Na parang, like just asking a simple question like, hey, how can I pray for you? Or like, what part of your PCOS journey are you going through that maybe we can pray about or I can help you with? Kasi, yeah, like even something as simple as that can make a really big impact in someone's life. And I think like a few weeks ago, I came across like a video na gano'n, same struggle din, may PCO siya, and then she ended up attending church. Tapos parang, um, ironically, parang yung nagse-speak sa church nila, I don't know, hindi ko kilala 'tong tao na 'to at hindi ko din alam kung saang church siya nagsimba. Pero parang sinabi ata nung preacher nung time na yon, I feel that there are people here na merong ano, parang, reproductive health problems, something like that, badly put. And then, alam mo yun, like parang for someone to like hear something like that, na parang this must be like God's will na marinig ko to and na mapag-pray ako na tong tao na. So, obviously, again, internet age, the comments are like, oh, like, wag kang magpaniwalaan na prayer lang yung naka-heal sa'yo, gano'n. And parang it's sad to see that, and it makes you feel na, like I think I should say something about my faith and like why I believe that Jesus can heal me. I mean, I'm not saying, guys, hindi ko sinasabi na hindi tayo maniwala sa modern medicine. Obviously, it is there for a reason. Doctors are placed in our lives for a reason. So definitely listen to your doctor. But also don't underestimate the power of Jesus to heal you. Kasi, yeah, I mean, that's literally the story of the bleeding woman. And yeah, like in three different chapters of the Bible, literally Jesus says, your faith has made you well. So, when you have that hope that you can hold on to, obviously you'll also have the fighting spirit to, fight for your health and like do better. I mean, not do better, but alam mo yun,
Take
like,
care
Holding
of
on, kumbaga.
yeah, improve your
I was
situation.
parang nagre-reflect ako sa kinikwento nyo. And going back to the bleeding woman in the Bible, I see that possibly one of the reasons why she really didn't get well, is although she consulted doctors, parang isolated siya. Para siyang,
Yeah.
the way that it's described in the Bible is like, she was isolated, she was thought of as unclean,
She was
she
alone.
was alone in her struggle, and I guess there's a shame in whatever she was going through. There's an associated shame with that. And so would you say that even in, especially in modern times, since we've been talking about it, na parang yung shame dun sa parang there's a shame to the sickness that is also causing people to not seek help, or
Yeah.
parang yun na, hindi ano, and because of that as well, parang there are a lot of people who are ignorant about it, would you say?
I would say yeah. Like hindi naman syempre the male species. Joke. Like
We'll get to that
okay.
later.
We'll get to that later.
Yes, yes, male species. May male species dito.
I mean, of course syempre it's a topic na it's about women's health. Like we expect men to not be interested or like or yeah, to be interested. So
Interested how?
Interested in a way na parang, paano ba? Like you've seen the reaction of men in delivery rooms, 'di ba? When 'di ba they can't really take that much. Well, not all. Okay, not all. Don't cancel me, please. Pero it's like a sensitive topic na parang in a way medyo taboo to talk to it with a guy, 'di ba? Like it's only just gonna be us women to talking about it. But
Mhm.
I'm glad that that the men of Level Up, woo,
Yee.
bumawi, bumawi.
Bumabawi, bumabawi.
They created this space for us to be able to, to share, to talk about this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That being said, we have comments on Facebook, and I think one significant comment is from Kyle. Sabi niya, what do you think is most important for men to know about your struggles with reproductive health? Because they are desperately ignorant.
That's a really good question, honestly.
Wait lang, let me read that again.
Basically, I think because a lot of men are ignorant about female reproductive health, and actually reproductive health in general, even male reproductive health,
Yeah,
men
because
are
even girl
generally.
experience infertility. Eh.
I think men in general kasi are ignorant about that because we don't like to talk about it. Parang we like to talk. I think from the male psyche, we talk about sex, but we don't talk about the reproductive health side of sex. If you understand what I mean, and that goes for both male and female. So when I guess when some females talk about it, parang most men feel uncomfortable. No, pero I think tama there should be an open space where men should be able to listen to what women are going through. Pero the question is what? Ano bang importante na dapat naming malaman? Yun.
Can I pwede sumagot?
Yeah, go go go.
I think it's less about ignorance and more about just general disinterest. Kasi parang if you're not the one who's going to rear a child, like honestly, why would you care, 'di ba? Parang I feel like part of it is kind of like that eh. But like what do guys need to know? Tama 'di ba? About it. I think yung
About your struggles, about and everything in general, no?
mm-mm.
What do you think we
I
should know?
think yeah, na just because it's only about periods, it doesn't mean that that's the only thing that affects us about it. Like for example, when it comes to PCOS, diet is a huge part. So, kunwari, magde-date kayo, example lang 'to, kunwari magde-date kayo tapos sinabi mo, "Tara McDo tayo." 'Di ba parang that doesn't really help your with like what she's trying to maintain, I guess. Or like something as simple as a lot of women who have PCOS also experience depression, anxiety, they have insomnia. So, 'di ba, parang basic things like did you know that like not having 8 hours of sleep can literally affect you in such a big way? Like you're gonna be really moody, you're gonna be really tired and you're gonna be weak and parang I don't want to use it as an excuse on like why we can be in a really bad mood sometimes, but yun yung reality nun eh, like going through a sickness. 'Di ba? So ayun na parang it would help a lot to receive more grace and patience and yeah, like parang um feeling like you're not the only one. Parang ano ba, yung ano na they understand na you have to go through like really big lifestyle changes to like literally fix your body. So, yun. I think that's one really big part of it kasi yeah, like wag nyo kaming sukuan just because
Yeah.
we're going through so much.
Sabi ni Lord, love your wives. Love lang. You don't need to understand.
But also, the effort of them trying to understand you and your body and how it functions. Parang it's one way that makes you feel loved then, yeah, makes you feel loved and seen, and they don't think you're crazy. Basically, yung ganon. So, sorry, nakita ko yung someone with because even opt for services which freeze their eggs. Yes. But that is for rich people. That's ang ang mahal magpa-freeze ng
Actually, guys,
eggs.
Yes.
the retrieving of the eggs is like kind of doable, but like keeping it frozen is actually the one that like costs so much money.
Like you're renting a freezer, right?
You're renting a
Cryo
freezer,
state.
and it's like almost like 100K per year.
Ouch.
And that's just freezing the eggs, guys. Like putting the egg in your body, IVF, that's another set of expenses. So like yeah, like this sick like because also has a lot of financial implications. So yeah.
Si Lord naman.
Dapat
But
pala, dapat pala nag-career na lang ako somewhere in female reproductive health, OBGYN or something.
pwede.
Parang yayaman
So
ako dun eh.
OB-GYNs are
Di ba?
yeah.
Malaki
In
na.
demand siya
Cryogenics,
kasi
IVF, mga ganyan. Parang yayaman ako dun eh.
and it's guaranteed because there will always be someone trying to get pregnant or something or they
Mm-hmm.
already pregnant.
Yeah.
They had that trouble since
Some people can be
biblical
desperate.
age.
Yeah. But I would
Before
also like
Christ.
to share what what things are important for men to know. Maybe not even in infertility lang but yung the reproductive health of the women in general is that I think it stems from yun nga yung how the patriarchy or how uh people viewed women before that they are unclean, and so it kind of carried through into the modern age na even if modern na tayo, they still see women who are in their periods like unclean, di ba? Like, ew, don't talk to me about your period or you're bleeding, ganyan. But I think that more men naman these days are more understanding and more parang supportive din of women na you can support women in a way that you can know when their cycles are coming up, and then you can expect yung mga yung mga struggles nila, like ayan, mental struggles with or sa appearance nila, 'di ba, or yung identity crisis or whatever, na be there to support them when you know that their period is coming up, or when their PCOS or whatever sickness of infertility or reproductive health they are going through. And na I just remember din na ano na in the story of the bleeding woman, Jesus was not did not show disgust sa woman na who was bleeding she touched his robe, and he didn't like, wow, okay,
Ugh, yeah.
but bakit mo but he like just he allowed her to come near her. I think he might have known that even na someone was there behind him and was trying to follow him, touch his robe eventually, and uh, he just looked at her and told her that your faith has made you well, right? So in the same way, men can be uh, understanding of women with
Hmm.
with our struggles in
Oh,
the
yeah.
reproductive health, na be supportive of us. Ayun, like I said, you can know these things kasi uh, periods are regular, diba? And for those who are struggling with periods that are not regular, maybe you can support them by helping them go go with them to a doctor, OB-GYN, diba? So there are very practical things, practical steps that you can do for your ladies that can show support to them in this way. So, Vel and Nina, do you have other things that you can think of that men can know pa that can support women who are struggling with these things?
I think we covered all the bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking, um, because you guys, if you guys have watched The Chosen,
Mm-hmm.
and in season 3, they actually featured that scene with the bleeding woman.
Really?
Super strong ng scene na yon, because we see her talagang really struggling, and there were people who were literally telling her not to go to Jesus. Of course, drama na lang to, no? Pero, so you can imagine that that was actually happening. But in her mind, she was saying, if I can just touch, it wasn't
His
even her
clothes.
robe. It was yung tassels dun sa dulo ng robe.
Hassle, yeah.
So parang if even just that ang mahawakan ko, I know that I will be made well. And sabi nga,
Mm.
ano parang, the, what do you call this, some of the rabbis who were there were even like, the Pharisees were like admonishing her for doing such a thing, for touching someone, and then even admonishing Jesus for talking to her. Pero yung ano talaga yung, my child, sabi nga niya, parang your faith has made me well. And I think it's such a beautiful scene if you watch it. So after that, meron pa siyang scene, meron dinagdag na scene, of course, ano na lang to, dramatic interpretation na lang to, that she parang, because she is now well, parang she was able to bathe in the sea, because she couldn't do that before, kasi nga, unclean kasi siya, so she wouldn't be allowed by people to do that, no, that she would bathe with others in the sea. So parang she jumped into the water. So parang, ang ganda lang na parang there's that freedom that she experienced after meeting the Lord. And I think, for all naman, no, correct me if I'm wrong, for all naman, I think, women who may be struggling with infertility, with different kinds of ano, parang reproductive health issues, there's that, you also want to parang shed off that shame, shed off that parang burden,
Mm-mm.
'di ba? And at the end of the day, si Jesus lang ang pwedeng gumawa nun. 'Di ba? Parang kay Jesus lang natin ma-achieve 'yun eh.
Yeah. And just like JV said about the people, right? Actually, merong verse sa Mark, na parang, I think this is when Jesus was asking, like, who touched me? Sabi, you see the crowd pressing around you. So you know that people were really like trying to hound around Jesus. And parang, for this woman, right? I mean, the fact that she touched the tassel, she's probably like nasa ground, I would assume, and just, like, just let me get a piece of him. Like, it doesn't even have to be big. Like, yung desperation niya for healing. I think, like, when I was reading the verses, that's something that really spoke to me kasi I think for a lot of us do, right? Like, especially us na we're in our, 20s, 30s, we're really desperate because this is like the prime of our reproductive years, and obviously, like, parang you don't want to like kick off marriage and be like, oh, I can't have children. So so alam mo yun, na parang how big really is your faith na you're that desperate to, to just go. Like, I would think that this person, put her life on the line kasi unclean nga siya eh. So, bawal siyang humawak, bawal siyang mahawakan, like,
Pwede siyang
'di ba? Like,
magulpe or what.
mhm, she
Mm-mm.
can be stoned that, like, really na, 'di ba? Like, inaano na si Jesus ang crowd, and then she still went. And she didn't hesitate. Like, she just, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna get healed. And yeah, like, I think a lot of us would have that mentality about, what we're going through too, na I just want to go there and I want to be healed. And it's nice that the Bible presents us an option on how we can receive that healing.
So I think gusto ko lang i-add lang. It's interesting that you talked about desperation. So I remember during prayer and fasting na tinanong sa amin, when was the last time you really cried out to the Lord? When was the last time you really called out to Him in desperation? And when I remember that question, I am reminded of another passage that Jesus says in Matthew 11, 28 to 30. Wow, share ko na rin to kasi I really love, this is my life verse this year. Come to me, all who are labored and heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And I think, parang for those who struggle, sometimes yung burden is just so heavy. Parang sobrang bigat lang niya. And the question is, how are we dealing with it? And a lot of people deal with their problems their own way. Even own Christians, even Christians, so minsan magde-deal tayo ng problema, sarili lang nating paraan. When we forget that even though Jesus is portrayed and is seen as a male figure, he is actually a representation of man, both man and woman, no? And he understands all these struggles, and that he is the one we can really depend on to carry the burden that we are struggling with. In the same manner that the bleeding woman knew, because of her faith, na she will be well because of Jesus. Parang I think if there was any lesson to be learned, na parang we should really parang look to Jesus for that, not just for the comfort, but really to let go and shed those burdens that we may have. Yun lang. Maya?
Alright. Okay, thank you for all your sharings now. Sige. I think we probably covered everything. Siguro I just have one last question if I would remember it before our closing statements. Let me just try to remember that.
Siguro while Maya
Kaya mo yan.
while Maya is thinking about
Should we
that.
play to Jeopardy?
So when Maya said, I have a question actually. Well, this is based on a Japanese drama that I recently watched, or saw parts of. Hindi ko pa siya napapanood ng buo. But the title of the Japanese drama is He's Expecting. And it's Japanese dramas are never what you think they are. So the premise is that in their world, small population of men can now become pregnant. So parang yung storyline doon is parang at this parang successful male parang marketing person parang had a one night stand with this woman, and then suddenly a few weeks later he finds out that he's pregnant. And so he goes through yung mga struggles of pregnant women in the workplace, like yung parang what do you call this, tatawa lang ako kasi like for example nagwet yung chest niya, nabasa yung chest niya, sa parang yung mga ganon, or
so basically they go through the experience.
Yeah. And then even the woman, even the part where he had to hide his pregnancy from his boss kasi baka tanggalin siya sa trabaho. So parang parang I guess parang ang question ko dyan is parang, is it until now really a struggle? Yung mga ganitong struggles very real pa rin ba with women in terms in how society views fertility, pregnancy, or even infertility for that matter. Pero magandang show siya kasi yun nga parang the guy experiences it instead of the girl.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot men don't know what women go through when it comes to infertility and fertility even when the 9 months are being rendered for the baby to be developed.
Render.
Rendering.
Alam mo talagang
Mentor pala
hindi
ako.
pa ako nabubuntis eh. Kasi yung rendered for the baby to be developed.
Parang
Diba?
probationary period, Red. Parang nagpa-probationary period.
Sorry na. Single pa ako. Okay. Okay. So what I was saying was, ayun, but I think for when you go to the doctors naman, like the doctors would also involve naman na yung men in the process of getting pregnant. So I would believe that women still go through yung hardships of fertility, that men should know about, and therefore parang adjust to uh, yung pinagdadaanan ng kanilang wives, ng mga women. And so but also in infertility, yun nga yung shinare nila Vel and ni Nina na it really affects us women very much, and we need the support of men. But also naalala ko na if yung when women are anchored on the correct object of faith, we will see that women are are not just pegged sa infertility or weaknesses ng infertility or fertility, but you can see them really power through these struggles. And when you see them really go through these things, and you see them victorious over it, overcoming, siguro not really, it may not be cured, pero yung overcoming na yung mga struggles nito that they have gone through it and they are overcoming it, makikita mo talaga that women are really strong, and only by the grace of God, and they are may mga women talaga who are models of strength, and we really want to siguro acknowledge women such as Vel, such as Ninay, and those who are also struggling through these things, but are uh, who are even desperate, pero are trying their best to power through those struggles, as we have seen in the story of the bleeding woman. So yan lang.
And I think lang din, I think women are often relegated by society as the weaker sex. And physically, that might be correct. But, in terms of their role in society, and what they are capable of, hindi naman totoo yun. And so, I think, in a way, I would say that parang, women should not be ashamed of whatever fertility or infertility that they may be experiencing.
Yes.
But rather, if they're experiencing it, be open to talk about it, and be open to seek help, diba? So, and I think better understanding din, I guess, from society in general. Kasi pag minsan yung nagsisimula na problema sa society, kapwa babae din eh. So parang, alam mo yon let's face it, nangyayari din talaga yun. It's not just the men eh. No? So, and I guess it's like the old-fashioned thinking.
Oh, sorry if my dogs are...
Don't hear the dogs.
Okay.
So, ano pang may question ka pa ba, Maya?
Actually, wala na. Baka we can have closing statements then from Belle and Inay.
Sige. So, any final thoughts, Vel?
Me.
Yes.
Sino pa ba? Yeah. Yeah, I think yun lang na, if you're going through problems with your reproductive health, know that you're not alone. There will always be a community of women who are probably going through the same thing and are also seeking to, find people who can resonate with what they're going through. And also, you're not alone in the sense that, there is a God that you can cling on to and hope that your situation will improve. So, ayun, I think it's also like a good action for all of us here na, let's check up on the women who are around us and try to, show our love by making sure that they never feel like they have to go through these things by themselves. Yeah.
Ako naman, baby, you did. If you're listening, if you're listening right now and you're struggling with PCOS, endometriosis, or whatever,
Lakas maka
or
radio program if you're listening right now. And 700 Club, joke lang.
and I just just it's easy for us to listen to the lies of the enemy. Voices that say, uh, you're only worth your how you look or what your weight is.
How many
It's not
children you
how
can bear.
many children you can bear. Don't listen to that. That's not from the Lord. That's not true at all. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are loved. You're the daughter of God. So you should be empowered by that. And we have so many resources now that we can tap into, na hindi lang ang payo ng doktor magpapayat ka, mawawala din yan. Hindi it's not that anymore now. I swear that's like the ultimate PCOS cure before. Like magpapayat ka lang, mag-diet ka lang, mag-exercise. It's not true. You have there's a regimen to it. There's a
But
okay.
the PCOS is causing the fatness.
Pero alam mo, I laugh because there are a lot of doctors, old school thinking. It's not just with PCOS with a lot of diseases, yung parang magpapayat ka lang, magiging okay ka na.
Magpapayat ka lang, magiging okay ka na. Yeah.
Hindi lahat
But there,
ng sakit
it's not a one size fits all. There's a certain thing that, certain foods that you have to eat, certain exercises that you have to do to be cured. So just hang in there. Madami tayo. Madami tayo. And
I hope that changes though.
I hope that changes. Sana umonte. So that, we can see more Christian babies, filling the earth. So yeah, this is just an encouragement for you that same as well, you're not alone. Just, PM one of us here. Ayun.
Yes.
Maya?
And for the men, what can we say to the men?
From the man.
Ikaw muna,
No.
Maya. Ako mag-end Ikaw muna, Maya.
No, we just want to thank you yung mga men who know how to treat their women right. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Most of our
Yan.
commenters, actually, the ones interacting in our video right now are mostly men. So
Oh, let's go, men! Actually,
let's go.
But praise God.
naka-proud.
I think praise God because um, many men are now becoming more open to ano, hindi na yung sobrang super traditional gender roles dati na parang all the men just work and then they don't do any kind of child
Emotional support,
emotional support
affection.
or parang help in parenting, wala nang parenting, basta I provide
Yeah.
money for the family, that's it, wala nang ganon, di ba? Parang medyo mas
Red flag.
but because before, di ba, talagang ganun na yon, and
Yeah.
that was the what do you call this, the quote unquote gold standard for men. If they're good if they're good providers, then they must be good fathers, must be good husbands, etc.
No.
Pero 'di ba yung so parang yun yung medyo nga ano, parang I think it's nice that men are more open to really listening to to women, to understanding them, and I think that really begins with all of us, no? And I think kasi there is also so much na parang in the culture where for men may tendency kami to say, oh, you're just being dramatic, or
Oh my god.
How
Na-trigger.
dare.
How dare.
yung parang you're just being dramatic, or parang oh, stop moping around, mga ganon.
I cannot.
I know the
cannot
triggers.
right now.
I will like walk out the door.
I am gonna end call, Joan.
Bye.
And well, or gusto mo yung favorite ko, kulang ka lang sa prayer. I hate that line. I really
Wala ka lang
hate
sa
that.
faith.
Kulang ka sa faith, kulang ka sa prayer. Kaya ka nagkakaganyan. Hindi ka kasi nag-spend time with the Lord. Wow.
Wait lang, guys. Uy, pero alam mo ba? Yun din yung isa sa mga na-mention na parang, what you call this? Parang commentary on the bleeding woman. Na kasi diba, parang there's a belief like in Jewish
It must be her
belief,
fault.
tama ba?
She must be sinning.
Na, oo, parang may hidden sin ka kaya ka nagbe-bleed for 12 years. Ang lala, diba?
Kaya ka infertile, ganyan.
So,
Stop that.
Hasp.
triggering, no? So, yeah, I think that's really, parang we need to really be more understanding, hindi gaslighter.
True.
No? Talagang be more understanding, and like, hindi ko na lang sabihin ko sino to, pero kinikwento sa akin na before na this guy, hindi talaga siya sanay. He's not used to what do you call this, depression, because for him, in his life experience, when he struggled, he struggled but he kept moving forward. Yung parang ganun yung niya, makeup niya. And so that's understandable because that's his life experience. But then yung naging asawa niya parang naka-experience ng grief because of loss, and she became depressed because of that. And he could not understand how to help or support yung wife niya with that. And so it was something that he had to learn eventually, parang to get to know from others who are already better from their depression, but to understand what his wife could possibly be going through. So parang diba, parang sa kanya, sabi niya, he had to unlearn the things that he learned in his life so that he could better understand yung pinagdadaanan ng wife niya. Not just simply dismiss yung wife niya na parang being too dramatic, or parang she's just, or I hate that term, I hate this, pero I've heard this before, she's just being a woman. Parang as if, wow. Triggered na si Nina yun.
Ano parang...
Nakaka-trigger kayo.
Deep gasp.
How
yeah.
dare.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is that parang we now live in a world where there should be open communication, and between men and women, and I think we should remove the stigma from yung shame from even just talking about reproductive health, no? So kasi yun yung I would say sometimes that's causing the problems because a problem is not being discussed, hindi siya na-address. I think in the same manner that I would say mental health is improving, pero dati no one talks about mental health. And even the older generation would say wala namang depression and mental health dati. It's because no one was talking about it. That's why walang ganon, no? But it didn't mean that it did not exist, diba? So in the same manner, parang yun nga, parang I think men should be able to be more open to talk to women about it, and women should be able to talk to other women about it, no? Hindi sila should not, parang i-shed off natin yung shame tsaka yung stigma, no?
Yes, I think that's important too, no? Yung emphasis on shed the shame, kasi it's one thing for men to be able to understand women and have open communication with them, but on our part kasi maybe tayo naman yung problema na hindi tayo makapag-open up. We are too ashamed to open up these things with other people. So yeah, emphasis on shedding the shame, because God made us this way, eh. So whatever we are experiencing, um, we do not need to experience it alone. But also the fact that we have a great God who is and um, capable of helping us overcome yung mga struggles na to.
Yeah.
And I would just like to read yung comment ni Kyle. If Christian men treat Christian women as weak, just say what Mary Slessor said. When you think of this woman's power, you forget the power of this woman's God. Yes, that's wonderful.
I like that. And actually ako, number one, if you really look at the Bible, there are many instances of strong women in the Bible na talagang, alam mo yun, they're not weak. So parang, ano nga, I was gonna make a joke kayo, ako na lang sabihin. No, because I believe that women should be silent. Joke lang. Huwag na may cancel.
Cancel.
They're gonna clip that.
Clip, tapos ginawang viral.
Oh,
Out of
no.
context, nakakainis. No, but a lot of Christians get caught with that, They say something that's out of context, naging viral na pagalitan. Anyway, but what I was trying to say is that women aren't really weak. There are many strong women in the Bible. In fact, some women were even leaders, no? I think in the article that we were discussing about women sa group chat natin, was that one of the women mentioned was Deborah, and I love Deborah in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
Yes, queen.
She was
Slay.
she was a strong, independent woman. She was not only a leader, she was a prophetess. No, so she had a direct communication with the Lord, with God, and not many people, not even men, can say that, diba? And she even charged into battle. One male leader, would not even go into battle kung hindi daw siya kasama, diba? So may mga things like that, and so we can see that women don't necessarily, they're not weak. Maybe in terms of physical strength, yes, but I'm not in a lot of aspects. No, they are amazing. So I think this is really understanding, parang being able to understand women are not weak, and we shouldn't treat them as weak. And whatever perceived weakness that they may have is something that can be overcome through the power of Christ, diba? Sa end of the day, diba, it's really Christ who empowers all of us, both men and women alike, to do great things. And yung mga struggles natin, even especially in reproductive health and fertility, that itself can also be overcome by Christ. Because sabi nga, Bible, He has overcome the world. No, lahat ng bagay kayang-kaya ng Panginoon. And the question is, how big is our God? Gaano ba kalaki ang Diyos natin? I remember Pastor Edmund Chan would say before that big problem, small God. But small problem, big God. No? Ibig sabihin, the proportion of our problems and our struggles is dependent on how big we see God is in our lives. Yun. So with that, any other final thoughts before we close for the evening?
I think we've pretty much said everything. So yeah, happy Women's Month, ladies.
Woman!
Woman.
So, Women's Month ngayon, so we are still debating kung ano yung topic natin sa next podcast. But, one of the things that I am pushing for talaga, is yung topic on how connected gaming is to women. And how does it affect women so Sims, joke lang.
Oh, you want me to go through that rabbit hole? I have a video presentation.
Sims. Naglabas ng PowerPoint.
Pwede bang
Finding
PowerPoint
God
per
in the
person?
Sims.
No, anyway, but
To
we
Stardew
will,
Valley din, guys.
but really we are here in Level Up. We are a group of geeks that understand. We try to understand. We're not perfect people, guys. Nagkakaroon pa rin kami ng problema. But we are people who are trying to understand and create a safe space for not just women but for everyone who may be struggling through different kinds of issues, and so that we can give them support, uplift them, and point them to Christ, no? And so if you are the type of person who might be struggling, if you are a woman who is struggling with all of these what we've talked about today, or if you are even a guy who might be struggling with other things, do message us. We are on Facebook. We are live. You can message us there. We also have a Facebook group. You can join our Facebook group Level Up Game Nights, or you may join our Discord. I think somebody has to post the link of our Discord.
Post it.
It's posted.
So I think John can post it because he is in our chat. Hi, John.
No,
Pa-post
Maya
na lang.
already posted it.
Oh, yan. Maya posted it. Yay. Good
Some
job.
woman like that.
Join us.
Because
So,
you're a
join us.
woman like that, yes.
So, and
One step ahead.
aside from
Joke lang.
support, we enjoy hobbies and games, and we play at night. We sometimes have prayer time. We have Bible studies, etc. So parang we have everything. Wow, parang kami SM. We have it all for you.
Don't mansplain JB, sabi ni Kyle Barrington.
Wow. I'm not mansplaining. I'm just sharing what we do. Yes. So,
So thank you for being with us, guys.
all right. And see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.